William, I know I need to move more, but every time I stand up, my knees sting, my ankles feel stiff, and I get tired so easily. I know exercise is good, of course I do, but who is it good for when my body doesn't feel like it used to? Those were the words of Margaret, a 68-year-old patient of mine, shared one late autumn afternoon. She was sitting across from me in the exam room, gently rubbing her ankle, her eyes filled with quiet fatigue. Have you ever felt that way? Maybe you're living with diabetes, and every morning when you wake up, you know you should move, stretch, do something to stay active. But your body doesn't quite cooperate like it did when you were younger. Numb feet, achy knees, swollen ankles. Or maybe you just don't know where to begin. I understand that better than anyone because I've walked alongside hundreds, if not thousands of patients over 50 living with diabetes. And I've realized something important. Exercise isn't a race. It's a conversation between you and your body. You don't have to run. You don't have to lift weights. You don't have to sweat like you did in your 20s or 30s. You only need to move in a way that your body can smile back at you. So in today's video, I want to share with you gentle, safe, and realistic exercises designed especially for people living with diabetes after 50. No gym required, no fancy equipment, just a small space, a few minutes each day, and a little kindness for your own body. Are you ready? Let's begin step by step to bring your body back to what it truly wants to be, alive, flexible, and strong, no matter your age. Dear friend, if you're like many of my patients, you've probably heard the same familiar advice. Make sure to exercise regularly. You should move more. Walking daily is good for your diabetes. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Why does exercise affect blood sugar? And why does it matter even more after turning 50? Let me invite you to picture this. Your body is like a car that has been running long distances for many years. When you were younger, the engine purred, the ride was smooth. But after 50, parts begin to wear down. The fuel needs to be cleaner. Every trip needs more thoughtful planning. Inside the body, insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar, is like a driver trying to guide the fuel glucose into your cells. But when you're inactive, your muscles become sluggish. They resist insulin's knock on the door. No matter how hard the driver tries, the sugar doesn't enter the cells. The result, glucose lingers in your bloodstream and your diabetes gets worse. But here's the miracle that happens when you start moving. Your muscles wake up. They open their doors and let the glucose in naturally without needing a surge of insulin. I remember Mr. Felix, a 73-year-old former bus driver. He came to see me with an HbA1c of nearly 9.0%. Doctor, he said, I'm taking my meds. I'm watching what I eat, but my blood sugar still won't go down. After talking, we agreed on one simple change. 15 minutes of walking each morning round his home at his own pace. 3 months later, his HbA1c dropped to 7.2%. No new meds, no stricter diet, just 15 minutes a day. Exercise doesn't just lower your blood sugar temporarily. It improves insulin sensitivity, increases lean muscle mass, and reduces visceral fat, the dangerous fat around your liver, heart, and pancreas. After 50, preserving muscle becomes even more vital because muscle is your safest reservoir for storing sugar. Every step you take, every stretch of your arms and legs. It's not just movement, it's how you stabilize your blood sugar without needing more medication. But it doesn't stop there. Exercise comes with a beautiful side effect, joy. I once worked with Miss Elaine, 66 years old. She started doing light yoga and later told me, not only does my body feel less achy, my mind feels lighter too, and I sleep better. Science backs this up. Movement triggers the release of endorphins, the feel-good hormones that ease anxiety, boost mood, and improve sleep quality. Have you ever felt it? Just a gentle stretch, a deep breath, a quiet walk under the soft morning sun, and suddenly it's like you've stepped out of a heavy fog. For people with diabetes, emotions matter. Chronic stress raises cortisol, a hormone that also raises blood sugar. So exercise is not just about muscles, it's about the mind and the heart too. I'm not asking you to become an athlete. I'm just asking you not to sit still and let the disease lead the way. There will be tired mornings, rainy days, achy knees, and I understand. I do. I don't judge. But please remember, movement is not a competition, it's a way to reconnect with yourself. You can start with just 5 minutes each morning. Wrist rolls, shoulder stretches, a walk around your living room, no pressure, no rules, just a gentle greeting to your body. I often tell my patients, movement is how we say to life, I'm still here, I'm still living, and I still choose to take care of myself. After 50 exercise is no longer a luxury, it's essential. It's your final superpower to protect your heart, your blood vessels, your glucose, and your joy for living. And the beautiful thing is, it's never too late to start. Dear friend, I understand that feeling when you wake up and your body seems like it hasn't quite booted up for the day. Stiff knees, achy shoulders, eyes open, but you still feel like you're carrying last night's fatigue. And in that state, the idea of exercising can feel more like a burden than a blessing. But let me tell you something. Caring for your health doesn't have to mean running 5 miles or hitting a gym full of machines. Sometimes all it takes is a quiet corner, a sturdy chair, and a few minutes of gentleness to begin the healing journey from within. Today, I'd like to share 5 gentle exercises that are especially helpful for people living with diabetes after age 50. You can do them right at home. No need to go outside, no fancy gear, just you and a little kindness toward your own body. 1. Morning stretch. Wake up the joints, get the blood flowing. Let's begin with something as gentle as a good morning to your body. Sit on a chair or the edge of your bed. Take a deep breath in and lift both arms up toward the sky as if you're reaching for the sunlight. Hold for 5 seconds. Then exhale slowly as you lower your arms. Repeat 5 times. One of my patients, Rosa, age 69, once told me, I only do this one stretch each morning, but my back feels less stiff, my arms are lighter, and I don't feel sluggish all day. This simple motion helps loosen muscles, boost circulation, and gently improve insulin sensitivity when practiced regularly. 2. Sit to stand from a chair. Strengthen the legs. Maintain independence. I call this exercise the key to independence. Sit on a chair with feet flat, knees at a 90-degree angle. Place your arms across your chest or slightly extended. Then slowly stand up and gently sit back down. Repeat 8-10 times. It may sound simple, but this movement builds strength in your thighs and hips, the muscles that keep you stable and mobile and help prevent falls. It also stimulates glucose uptake into your muscles, an excellent benefit for those with diabetes. Mr. Walter, 72, had type 2 diabetes and couldn't rise from a chair without using the armrests. After 2 weeks of daily practice, he told me, Doc, I stood up all by myself today, no hands, I feel alive again. Joint rotations. Ease stiffness, improve circulation. Stand or sit comfortably. Gently rotate your neck in circles 5 times each direction. Then roll your shoulders, wrists, and ankles. This simple sequence helps release joint fluid, lubricate the joints, and ease stiffness, especially helpful in the mornings. If you've ever woken up with stiff wrists or popping knees, joint rotations are like a warm cup of tea for your joints. Marching in place. Activate your heart and blood sugar control. Stand in place and gently lift one knee at a time as if you are marching. Let your arms swing naturally with the movement. Continue for 1-2 minutes or longer if you're comfortable. This is one of my favorite playful but powerful exercises. The light but consistent motion increases. Your heart rate improves circulation and helps balance blood sugar after meals. A study from the University of Otago in New Zealand found that just 10 minutes of light walking after a meal significantly lowered post-meal blood glucose levels in people with type 2 diabetes. 5. Deep breathing, calm the nerves, balance hormones. Sit quietly. Place your hand on your belly. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Feel your belly rise. Hold the breath for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. Repeat 5 to 10 times. Did you know chronic stress is one of the most silent triggers of high blood sugar? That's why deep breathing isn't just relaxation, it's medicine. It lowers cortisol, your stress hormone soothes your nervous system, and brings a sense of peace from within. I often tell my patients that one deep breath done right can be more healing than a pill taken on time. Dear friend, I know it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the do this, don't do that advice. But at this stage in life, I believe you understand. Health doesn't come from perfection. It comes from small choices repeated with love. Do the exercise that feels right for you. Listen to your body. Start where you are. You don't have to go fast. You just have to stay gentle and steady. Because every time you move, you are sending a message to illness, I still choose to live fully and meaningfully. Dear friend, one of the most important lessons I've learned after more than 30 years of working with older adults living with diabetes is this. Exercise, when done right, can be the most powerful medicine you don't need a prescription for. But just like any medicine, if used incorrectly or at the wrong time, even something good can become harmful. So before you begin or continue your movement journey, I'd like to invite you to sit with me for a moment, like two friends chatting after a checkup. Let's talk about a few things to keep in mind so that your exercise can be safe, effective, and sustainable. 1. Don't exercise on an empty stomach, especially if you're taking glucose-lowering medication. One of my patients, Mr. Harold, 68, lives alone in Oregon. He was determined to improve his health, so he began walking early every morning before breakfast and before taking his medication. After a week, he began to feel dizzy, sweaty, and one morning he nearly fainted during a walk around his house. Tests revealed it was hypoglycemia, low blood sugar caused by burning energy without enough fuel in the system. If you're living with diabetes, especially if you take insulin or glucose-lowering medications, do not exercise on an empty stomach. The safest options are exercise 1-2 hours after a meal when blood sugar is more stable, or if you must work out in the morning, have a light snack first like half a banana or a slice of whole grain toast. 2. Listen to your heart and your joints. I want you to imagine this. After 50, our bodies are like well-used cars, still reliable but needing more attention to every signal. If you feel your heart racing, shortness of breath, chest pain, or dizziness during a workout, stop immediately. Don't try to push through or tough it out. Your body isn't a battleground, it's a partner to be listened to. Likewise, if your knees hurt, your heels throb, or your wrists ache, don't force the movement. Adjust your posture, switch to a gentler exercise, or simply rest that day and allow your body to recover. 3. Don't compare yourself to others. Be honest with your own limits. One thing I often remind my patients, everyone starts from a different place. Some people can walk briskly for 30 minutes without tiring. Some get winded just from standing and sitting 5 times. Both are valid as long as they're being honest with themselves. I remember Mrs. Evelyn, 74, who came to me saying, "Doctor, I tried following a YouTube workout by this young, flexible woman, but I couldn't keep up. I felt useless." I held her hand and said, "Evelyn, your health isn't about what you can do compared to others. It's about whether you're doing better than your own yesterday." And dear friend, if today you took 10 extra steps, felt less sore when standing up, or breathed a little easier, that's already a victory. 4. Monitor your blood sugar, especially when starting a new routine. Exercise can lower or fluctuate your blood sugar depending on the intensity and timing. If you take medication, especially insulin, I strongly recommend checking your blood sugar before and after workouts, at least in the first few days. One patient once told me, "By checking my numbers, I learned which workouts made my sugar crash and which ones left me feeling lighter and energized." That kind of information is your compass, helping you adjust your meals, exercise timing, and medications more safely. 5. Stay hydrated, but be careful with what you drink. Even light exercise causes fluid loss. And for people with diabetes, dehydration can lead to concentrated blood sugar and sudden spikes. But please avoid sports drinks, diet sodas, or artificially sweetened beverages. These can disrupt your metabolism and digestion. Instead, choose plain water, warm water, or herbal teas. You can even add a few slices of lemon or mint leaves for a refreshing touch without affecting your blood sugar. 6. Consistency matters more than intensity. I often tell my patients, 10 minutes a day for 1 month is worth more than 1 hour a week if you give up after that. After 50, your body doesn't need high intensity, it needs regularity. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't dump buckets of water once a week. You water a little bit every day with patience and care. Dear friend, I know exercise can feel intimidating, especially when your body has been through years of fatigue or silent illness. But please remember that you are not too late. Starting is enough. Let every workout be an apology to your body for all the times you've forgotten it, and also a promise that from now on, you'll walk beside it. Not to live longer, but to live deeper. Dear friend, if you've watched this far, maybe a thought is circling in your mind. I'm 60 or 60 or older. Can I still start now? And I want you to know, yes, you can. Your body, despite all it has endured, still longs to be cared for. It doesn't need brutal workouts. It doesn't need marathons or heavy weights. It only needs you to begin gently, honestly, consistently. I once had a patient named Helen, 71. When she first came to me, she was out of breath just from walking from the waiting room to my office. Instead of pushing her to do more, I asked her to do just one thing. Stand and sit 5 times a day and walk slowly around her living room. 3 months later, she called me, her voice trembling with pride. Doctor, I went to the market today on my own, no walker. It wasn't some grand achievement. It was small steps with intention. It was one woman choosing to care for herself again. And I believe you can be like Mrs. Helen. You don't need to do a lot. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is a love for life and a quiet determination to say, I still can, and I will, starting today. If this video has helped you in any way, I invite you. Click like so I know you're here with me. Share in the comments. Which exercise will you start with? Subscribe to Graceful Health Journey so we can walk together. I, Dr. William Hart, and you on this path of living healthy and meaningful lives after 50. Because you deserve a body that feels strong, a mind that feels calm, not to compete but to fully enjoy each day ahead. I'll see you in the next video.